Okay, good. So let's talk about your magic being the best that there is and the only option in your offers. This is where your authenticity needs to come out the most. And when I say authenticity, I don't just mean talking about interests and stuff like that. I mean your authenticity as in you getting in touch with your highest self and getting in touch with your inner divine to the point where you are completely confident in what you say, describing yourself and your powers and what you can do and how you can change the world and how you can change your client's life through your offers and your magic and your services the way no one else can. The hard thing about healers is that they have a tendency to think that anything they say that sounds like that, what I just said, is bragging or it's egotistical or it's full of themselves or it's too much or it's whatever. And healers are always taught, especially women healers, are always taught to be humble and all that other shit. And oh, I'm just a channel, don't mind me, just doing the Lord's work. It's not about me. Yeah, but it is about you because you're the one doing this. It is about you. This is your business you're running. So it is fucking about you. So if you have any of that left over humble shit, I ask that you consider putting it aside for a little bit and just speaking about yourself uh, um, completely honestly and in such a way that you're able to just open up your words, open up the way that you communicate. When you speak from your heart, you are speaking from your magic in your heart to your client's heart. You're speaking to her mind to get her attention, and you speak to her heart to get her to say yes to your offer when she knows that it's right for her, and she will know that. When you start speaking about your services, you cannot be vague. So we went over that in the last video, right? Do not be vague. Be very pinpoint about what you're saying. And I want you to also pay attention to how good your services are, how good your magic is, and how monumental it is, and how much it changes people's lives. You're not here doing cleanses, cord cuttings, uh, chakra realignments, cartomancy, and whatever the fuck else, just to hang your head and say, "Oh, it's not really a big deal. I'm just doing this because." No, your magic is good. Your magic is top fucking tier. So with as confident as people can be with other shit, healers are still behind a little bit with the confidence and the thinking about themselves and understanding and acting like they understand that their magic is like no other, because it's true, it's not. Your magic and the shit that you do is not like anyone else's. It's not like you're not like anyone else. So there's no reason for you to hang your head and like try to downplay shit or try to like, not seem too full of yourself. That doesn't make any sense. This is your damn business. Of course, you're supposed to be full of yourself. That's like when people tell you, "Oh, I don't like you. You're full of yourself. You're too egotistical. You're too self-centered," or something like that. But bitch, yeah, I'm self-centered. This is my motherfucking life. But yeah, what else am I supposed to be thinking about? Who else should I be thinking about? So it helps to have that shift in your mind where you do understand that your magic is top fucking tier and that you should talk about it as such because it is. People come to you for a reason. Think of all the times in the past when people have chosen you to help them or to get advice from you or to get services from you or anything like that. When people were like, "Pikachu, I choose you," and they come straight to you with something. Think about that. All the times that's happened in the past. There's obviously something about you that makes you different. So and when it comes to business and money is involved, all of a sudden there's this shrinkage on the inside that says, "Oh yeah, no, I shouldn't be that. I shouldn't be that egotistical. That's not good. I'm not going to say all that. That's not right." Everyone's got their thing. Everyone's got magic. It's okay. I'm just going to say blah blah. Yeah, everybody's got their magic, but they don't have yours. Everybody's good at something. Yeah, but they're not good at what you're good at. And even if they are, it's still going to be different because you're an individual person. That's why I don't like it when people are like, oh, yeah, we're all the same. No, we're not. No, we're not. If we were all the same, people wouldn't have different gifts and different lives and different paths and shit like that. And especially different gifts for the world. If we were all the same, that doesn't make any sense. How the fuck are we all the same? So, besides eating, shitting, and sleeping and breathing, other than that, no, we're pretty damn different in a lot of ways. And magic is one of them. And the things that you do are top level 5-star type shit. And you need to talk about it. So the humbleness and trying not to be too full of yourself and wondering what people are going to say if you're not um if you don't act humble like some kind of Buddhist monk. You're not a Buddhist monk, though. You're a witchy entrepreneur who's here to make it. And there's no damn reason for you to be watering down shit or hiding or not being authentic in any way whatsoever. Your business can be the biggest, fattest moneymaker for you when all you're sitting there doing is just being yourself. So there's no work involved. Do you see what I mean? There's no work. It's just you just being you, and people are fucking paying you for it because your magic is amazing and your offices are amazing and your services are amazing. One person can go get 3 damn fucking chakra alignments from people, and they come to you for the 4th one, and yours just is the best, the fucking best. And it turns it, and when you are the best like that, and when you talk about your offers like they're the best because they are, it turns you into the only option because you're sitting there saying how your magic is different and what it does in fine detail, and it shows your expertise because you know what you're talking about because duh, you should be full of yourself. This is your fucking business. So if you're going to be a business owner and you're going to be a witchy entrepreneur, your mindset has to really shift from what you've been taught, which is to quiet yourself and shrink yourself, and instead say, no, you know what? This is my fucking shit. I'm going to talk about it how I fucking want. Damn it. And everybody's going to fucking know it. And people are going to hear me and they're going to see me and they're going to like it, damn it. And they will. They will. You'll attract the people who are into you and feel your vibe. That's why when you get online and you say stuff about your offers and people don't buy, they may or may not, comment or leave an emoji or some shit like that, but they're not giving you their money because they can't tell if you believe in what you're saying, let alone if they should believe in what you're saying. So when you get on there and say, now listen, damn it, this chakra alignment or this card reading or whatever it is, the fuck that you do is gonna take you from this, and this to this, and this because this is how it works. Da, da, da. And you give your details, give your fine details because you do know what you're talking about. That's how you go from being fucking like everybody else to just being you and people and being known for your authenticity in how you speak. That's why I say business. Business coaches a lot of times will be like, oh, yeah, you got to talk to your favorite client. Blah, blah, blah. Well, that's all fine and well, but how? And so if you've noticed, especially on Instagram, with this being 2026, on Instagram, there is a surge in, and YouTube as well, I believe. There's a surge in people looking for more authenticity from people, more realness, more and more they're looking for more and more. We've got AI being shoved up our asses, and we've had enough influencers on Instagram who get on there and just take pictures of them traveling and shit like that, and they don't say anything. They just like show off their life or whatever, and that's fine. But people are tired of that now. That was very short. That show off stuff, the show off trend was very short lived because you see what's happened. People, pictures of people in Santorini and stuff like that. I mean, no offense, I'm sure Santorini is great, but I just mean they want to show off pictures of them on yachts and shit like that and wearing Gucci and whatever the fuck else. But there's no realness there, and edited pictures and everything else. We're surrounded by fake shit. And then I'm seeing people, especially on Facebook, like repost stuff that's AI, completely AI from beginning to end. And they'll repost and say, "Oh yeah, this is amazing. Oh, what an amazing story. Are you for real? Like this entire shit is computer generated. This never happened." People don't fucking so that's the ones who aren't paying attention. Your business, your witchy business is going to get the people who are paying attention and who are looking for something real and people who are paying attention because they're intelligent and they're high-minded and they're aligned. And when you get on there and be real as a motherfucker with your stuff and the things that you say, you will draw in other people who are real as a motherfucker. And those people will be your clients, and they will come in, and your clients can be top tier people because they're on the same vibe with you about, yeah, let's do this authentic shit for real, for real. And they're going to see and appreciate the way that you are an authority with your magic and what you do because you're speaking like a real fucking person instead of getting on there and just like copy and pasting somebody else's stuff or having AI do all your posts and stuff. I mean, having AI do your posts, that's not a bad thing, but there comes a point where, especially if you're running your own business and you're doing like I'm doing, where you get on there and do videos and stuff like that, and you're actually like speaking to people. And there's if I did my whole page with just AI generated posts and AI generated descriptions and stuff like that for all of my posts, and then got online like this and did a video and spoke directly to you through this camera, I would be speaking entirely differently from what AI has built for me on my page. So you'd read all that shit and then see my video and be like, "Who's this?" You know, why y'all would wonder if I was like schizophrenic or some shit like that because you definitely be dealing with two different people, and it makes no sense to do that. So every time you get on and talk about yourself, your magic and what it does, and how you are different, how you are cut from a different cloth, it needs to be real as possible every time. But there's no, but that it sounds like a lot of work, but it's not. It really isn't. The most work that I put into something is like putting a reel together in an editor and like adding words and stuff and like picking which clips are going to go where in the reel. That's like the most strenuous thing I do for this business. Everything else is easy. All the rest of it's easy or easier than that. And that's because I'm just being real as motherfucker with everything else. There's no fake shit here. There's no filter on this. I'm not, I'm just, this is my room, like there's nothing, there's no fake background. There's no fake nothing. And I'm sure as hell not going to be like sharing other people's posts, sharing other people's stuff. Everything that is on my page and is part of my business is shit that I've created with my own hands. It's me that you're seeing. So when clients are online shopping around for the right healer, we'll say it for what it is, and they see your stuff versus everyone else's, they're going to know that your magic is real as fuck because you're being real as fuck in everything you say. I've mentioned this, who I'm about to mention. I've mentioned her before, but I want to mention her again because she's such a good example. There was a girl I used to follow, and I wish I could find her, but I can't remember her fucking name. But a few years ago, I used to follow this girl, and she was a business coach on Instagram, and her theme was unicorns. I do remember that. She had a whole bunch of followers. She was popular. She was very good at what she did, and her feed was, I don't know who her business coach was, but they were doing the right thing because her feed and everything in her content was completely natural and completely authentic, just totally natural. She wasn't, and I don't just mean the no makeup and stuff like that. Not just, I mean, she had some videos like that too with no makeup, but no one gave a shit because the stuff that she said about talking about her offers and talking about her services is what fucking mattered and what lingered in the air afterwards. It was her words. And she would get on there and she was just plain as hell about it. She'd just be like, look, you're obviously having this problem, blah, blah, blah. What you want is this, da, da, da. I'm gonna tell you why you're not getting there. It's this, and this. You're making these mistakes. And if you want to keep doing that, I mean, fine, but you're gonna be broke in 6 months, just like you are now. The alternative would be to get my fucking program where I'm gonna show you how to da 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 da, and then your fucking skills are gonna fucking skyrocket. So, bitch, take it or leave it. And that's pretty much kind of how she was. Yeah, I mean, and she cussed even worse than I do, but I liked her because she was just she just did get, for lack of a better way to put it, she didn't give a shit, and she talked about her magic in a way that set her aside and put her apart from everybody else. She was totally different. And she was totally different because she was being real as hell and she's being authentic as a motherfucker. And I really appreciate that. I just wish I could find her. I just can't remember. I can't remember because that page, Instagram shut down my old page. So I lost all those people I was following. That's why I can't find her anymore. But I just remember her theme was unicorns. And I would just love to find her again. But anyway, but you see my point. It's shit like that. You will be set aside, set apart, because business coaches a lot of times they'll tell you this. They'll be like, oh, well, you need to make sure that your offer, that you're the only solution for her problem. You're the only solution. You need to make sure that you look like you're the only solution. You're the only solution. You're like, I get that, but business coaches, a lot of the time, most of the time, will not sit there and take the time of day to tell you that you looking like the only solution for someone's problem would be coming from the fact that the two of y'all vibe, you and your favorite client. The two of y'all vibe. Obviously, you understand each other. Period. If somebody's shopping around looking for a healer, they're not going to buy from someone who doesn't vibe with them. They look at their page and I was like, nah, this person's cool, but I'm not feeling it. That's why you need to be authentic as hell, because you will draw in people who actually get you and actually appreciate you and look at your page and say, oh, hell yeah, this is the kind of shit I'm looking for right here. This is my bitch right here, and follow. And then all of a sudden they're looking at your link, and then they're looking at your other stuff. And then, and before you know it, they're getting over there to their wallet to get the card out because they feel you, because you're just being real. It's the only way to be with an online business. It's the only way to be. You can, it's so, and running an online business is so different because people who are running a store, or a brick and mortar store where you walk in and like look around on the shelves and stuff, and it's a physical place that you go to, and people come up and they always ask the same questions. You finding everything okay? When I worked retail and was like at the register, that first of all, it was the most abysmal shit ever. I'm so glad I don't do that anymore. But the worst thing ever about that was having to use the same phrases that all the other employees had to use. Like, we're all trained to say the same shit. That was terrible. And then it pushed me, that having to do the cookie cutter shit, that pushed me even more to be more authentic and dare I say more extreme when I did communicate with customers and had one-on-one time with customers. I would tap even more into myself and into my natural resources and powers and talents, and people would remember me too because I was unusual, and I'm aware of that. I'm unusual anyway. I know that, but I was unusual to them because I wasn't fucking acting like everybody the fuck else. Because why would I? That's boring. So people would come in, and it got, and this is at different places. People would come in looking for me. Well, is Miranda working today? And it got to where I got a little bit of jealousy because that too, because people were looking for me so much. And that's part of it. That's just part of it. You can't, heavy hangs the head, what wears the crown. Okay. It's like, it's gonna go that way. It's gonna be that way, but who gives a shit? You're meant to go to the top any fucking way. So this other stuff, it doesn't matter. The jealousy and stuff like that. There's always going to be jealousy. What there's not going to be is competitors. And the reason I say that is because when you speak about your magical offers and your magical services and your spiritualist, this, that, and the other that you have in your business that you offer people, there are going to be people who wish they could do that and are trying to run their business that way, but they're not running shit because they don't know what they're doing. And also, they don't have a business coach that knows what they're doing anyway, if they have a business coach at all. But your quote unquote competitors, they're not real competitors because they're not being legit. So you have no fucking competition, because how many witches do you know who are running their business and actually sound unique instead of the fuck like everyone else? But you being unique and unusual like that, and speaking from your heart and speaking from your natural magic in every single thing you do, is cutting you from a different cloth and putting and setting you apart from everyone else. You can go and look at other witchy pages, other witchy YouTube channels, other to witchy TikToks, whatever the fuck. What's everybody else on there always doing? Here's the herbal correspondences for rosemary. Here's the incense correspondences. Here's the color candles. Da, 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 da. Think about it this way. Your favorite client is not worrying about that kind of shit. What your favorite client wants to see is someone who knows what the fuck she's talking about, who knows what she's about, who is on her A, and someone who is going to be real with her and be authentic with her and be legit with her. Especially for shit like readings. We know this. If you're doing any kind of card reading, psychic reading, whatever, your client who's worth anything, like for lack of, this sounds cruel, but like for lack of a better way to put it, your client who's worth anything is going to want to pay you to get some real answers and get some real information, whether she quote unquote likes it or not. Your client is going to be mature enough that when she pays you for a service and you render them, and she wants to know something about her inner struggle or whatever, and you give her the real information, like, well, it seems like you're struggling with this, but what you're doing to sabotage yourself is this. So you got to quit doing that so that you can live better, or whatever it is her situation is. You're able to be real with her about what she's doing, the mistake that she's making, so that she can say, okay, yeah, you're right. I need to quit doing that. That's for sure. Okay. So what do I start doing instead? And now she's open. Her ears are open. She's listening because you've been real the whole time. And therefore you've only attracted motherfuckers who are real, who are ready to pay you for being real. That's the whole point. That is the whole point. So getting online and talking about how badass your offers are, and talking about how badass your magic is and your services and whatever the fuck else you do, is the only way to go, because that's going to be the only way you attract people who actually like you and actually want your magic and want to pay you for it. And the more legit you are and the more hardcore you are about being you and being authentic, is going to get you better reviews and everything else. Don't forget about reviews. People forget that. And the fact that, and even if somebody was like an amazing client and they did truly love your services that you gave them and everything else, and they had a really good ass experience, if they don't leave a review after a while, like go and kind of remind them, be like, hey, could you possibly leave me a review? Because I'm like trying to, collect some good reviews here, and whatever, and they 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say, oh yeah, or have a link, even like send them a link or something like that and be like, would you like to leave a review? You can type it in here. It can be anonymous. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Like, to remove the pressure, you know what I mean? And if your client really is pleased, you can get on like a Zoom call or something and record it or whatever, screen record it if you have to, and have them sit there and say what all you did and what it did for them and what their outcome was and how happy they are and shit like that, the whole 9 yards. And it doesn't have to be like some hour-long interview. Just like, that can be 30 seconds of them just saying how great things are now after working with you. Anything like that. So we'll talk about reviews another time, but basically you being legit as hell is going to be the only way to go here. Don't be unsure of yourself. You need to wake up thinking you are the baddest bitch in the land because you are. Hello. And that's it, period. And I don't care who you need to interact with, what movie you need to watch, what music you need to listen to get yourself in that mindset, but by God, do it. Sometimes if I need to get pumped up for something, I listen to Megan Thee Stallion, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. Go look at my Spotify playlist. I don't give a shit. She's on there. I don't care. It feels good. Go do something. Go engage in something that makes you feel pumped up like that. And then once you're feeling pumped, get to writing. Start writing. Start writing your description. And or whatever, for your Instagram post or what have you, start your stories. You're feeling good about yourself and you're channeling some shit and you want to start talking about one of your offers, getting stories real quick, do a couple of videos for that. Golden, solid, done deal, signed, sealed, delivered. And you being authentic and choosing words that really and truly explain and describe what your offers do in a real way, words that pack a punch. It's going to make the whole post or the whole story slide, whatever, pack a punch. And it's going to be memorable and people are going to remember that shit. And like I said earlier, your words are going to linger in the air because what you said was so fucking real. And that authenticity is going to be what takes you straight to the moon because that's what people are looking for. Period. That's it. Done deal. And that's it for this video. I appreciate you stopping by and watching, and I'll see you next time.